Hey everybody, it's Metagross Freak, and today I'm going to be talking about the graphic novel Watchmen. Now the presentation you're seeing before you is a presentation I did for my freshman year seminar class at CSUMB Monterey Bay. I just realized the MB stands for Monterey Bay, but that's okay. So for this project, I talked a little bit about Watchmen, and I went a little in depth with it. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers about the story, please hit your back button now. But if you're okay with spoilers or just want to hear my interpretations of things, keep watching. Watchmen is written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Dave Gibbons. More on them in a little bit. But for now, Watchmen is a superhero comic book originally published from 1986 to 1987 by Detective Comics, also known as DC. In it, masked vigilantes attempt to solve the murder of one of their own in an alternate history in New York during the Cold War. It is discovered that in an attempt to end the world, Ozymandias, one of the masked crusaders, murdered the comedian, their leader in a sense, to distract the remaining cast so he could frame Dr. Manhattan, yet again another one of the heroes, for mass murder. The worldwide outrage would generate an alliance that would in turn end the Cold War, albeit through the destruction of millions of lives. There are several main characters in this series, and I feel that they are played through quite accurately in the movie, which was made in the mid-2000s. First is Rorschach. He's a hero in an ink blot mask who's dressed in a trench coat and a bowler hat, similar to your normal detective. He's the one investigating the comedian's death, and like his mask, sees the world as only black and white without any gray areas. He has very many similarities to Detective Comics character The Question. Ozymandias is a hero dressed like Alexander the Great, who retired to run an expansive commercial empire. Deemed the smartest man in the world, he basically takes on the role of the series' villain. Dr. Manhattan was originally a scientist, however, due to a nuclear accident, he lost his emotions and gained supernatural powers, such as the ability to explode people, to change his size, and even create matter from thin air. Loosely based on DC's Captain Atom, he is again the only character who has superpowers. He glows a nuclear blue and is emotionless as Star Trek's Spock. Despite being able to see both the past, the future, and everything in the present all at once, he still for some reason finds a need to study physics. The comedian is the character seen in the middle of both pictures, wearing the kind of star-spangled outfit on the top, and with the mask in the middle. In both pictures, he's holding a cigar. The comedian is a ruthless, distrustful hero draped in patriotic attire, and his death sets the story's events in motion. It's revealed towards the middle to the end that he is actually the father of the character Silk Spectre. So again, yeah, if you didn't want to know that, sorry, I warned about spoilers earlier. Night Owl is an owl gadget-wielding character who's heavily based on DC's The Batman and Blue Beetle. And spoiler alert, he becomes the lover of Silk Spectre. He's also good friends with Rorschach, though considering Rorschach's antisocial personality, friend is a loose term. Silk Spectre is the daughter of the comedian and sort of lover of Dr. Manhattan. She's based on heroes such as DC's Black Canary and Phantom Lady. By I say sort of lover, I mean Dr. Manhattan will only cooperate with the government if Silk Spectre's there. However, Silk Spectre, towards the end of both the novel and the movie, has more and more feelings for Night Owl, and it's kind of this abandonment that Dr. Manhattan kind of loses his cool. There are several thematic archetypes to Watchmen, combining supernatural heroism and detective work, allowing it to fit into the archetypes, the very popular archetypes of noir and superhero comics. Like the detective tales of noir, Watchmen's plot revolves around the dark, rainy city where the detective Rorschach is more skilled at solving crimes than the local police. Also along the lines of noir, an influential and powerful man, Ozymandias, hides behind a far more believable culprit for his crimes, Dr. Manhattan. Rorschach's apparel is reminiscent of other private detectives from noir, and his ongoing journal loosely resembles noir's narrative type. As a side note, similar to noir, most of the comedy in Watchmen is very dry, such as by Sam Spade, seen on the right in the bottom picture. As for the superhero archetype, at first glance, the costumed characters of Watchmen lead the reader to the conclusion that the topic is classic superhero antics. Although this may be partially true, the only character who actually has any powers is, again, Dr. Manhattan. All of the characters, except for Rorschach, have gone into retirement and don their masks again for the sake of the imminent end of the world. The heroes in Watchmen are more akin to vigilantes than superheroes, despite their basis on DC comic heroes. Below I have DC's The Question, The Atom, Marvel's original Captain America, and DC's Black Canary. Compare them on your own free time, if you'd prefer, with the characters from Watchmen, and you'll start to see the resemblances. The author, Alan Moore, was born in 1953, I'm sorry, I'm slipping up today, and is a comic book writer who writes science fiction, nonfiction, superhero, and horror comics. His most well-known works include Watchmen, V for Vendetta, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and From Hell. All four of these mentioned novels have been transformed into movie adaptations. However, Moore objects to the adaptation of his works, feeling they lose their message. Moore has won several Jack Kirby Awards, multiple Eagle Awards, and the Harvey Award for his writings, at least one of each for Watchmen alone. He has also won the Comic Buyer's Guide Fan Award 5 times for their favorite writer. Some of his quotes by him involve, "Artists use lies to tell the truth. Yes, I created a lie, but because you believed it, you found something true about yourself. None of you understand. I'm not locked up in here with you. You're locked up in here with me. And this city is afraid of me. I've seen its true face." The second and third quote are both spoken by the character Rorschach. However, Alan Moore has used these quotes outside of Watchmen several times. For my analysis on these quotes, please read the gray words below. Lastly, the artist Dave Gibbons was born in 1949 and he is now a comic book writer and artist from England, best known for his collaborations with Alan Moore. In addition to Watchmen, Gibbons has illustrated 2000 AD, Harlem Heroes, Dan Dare, and the prequel to Judge Dredd, which was recently released as a movie. In 1987, he won 2 Jack Kirby Awards for his writing. Similar to Alan Moore, I provided analysis to a couple quotes. However, I have here the two. we had talked about was doing something bright and dreamlike, a Captain Marvel kind of thing that was kind of mythic and close to a fairy tale in a way. Alan did go on to do that with Supreme and other things. It was never really our idea with Watchmen to say, here is how superhero comics ought to be. And lastly, but something was lost in translation and people thought, black leather, stubble, and bad attitude. That's the future of superhero comics. I do mention, kind of the Marvel Avengers, Batman with Christian Bale kind of influences found in both of these quotes. However, both Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore, despite their works not coming out the way they originally had hoped, are both they're not embarrassed by them. So that was my presentation on Watchmen. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you would like to hear about any other graphic novels, I'd love to hear your suggestions. So until next time, I'm Metagross Freak, and thanks for watching.